Hey, what's going on, guys? It's White Gaming, back again with some more Survive the Nights. How's everybody doing today? Hopefully you were all good. It's very close to Christmas. It's exciting. Hopefully you've got your Christmas presents sorted. You're having a lot of alcohol and cheese and all that fun Christmassy stuff. And we have a beautiful new update from Survive the Nights, which is good. We've got the experimental patch notes for Alpha 1.12.55, which is currently on the experimental branch. If no issues are found, this will be moving over to the stable branch as version 1.13. Hopefully there's no issues, but it's basically another quick quality of life based update. It includes some things that many of us have been asking for, and that is localization. It's been a huge want from many in the community, and you will see that along with many other changes in the coming build. Please have a look over the blog below, as we've included translation files and request for community help. Now, if anybody out there is available to help them with the translation, please do so. I will post the link in the description below, so if you want to help, go down there, and it will be there for a more detailed description of how you can help. I don't quite understand this whole thing, but yeah, for a more detailed version, check out the dev blog yourself, which is in the description below as well. Today, though, what we're going to do is just go over the main patch notes, and I'm going to leave all the localization stuff behind. It's basically adding new languages, which will hopefully bring players from all over the world together and push the game out there a little bit more, which is quite nice. But it's rather long, and there's quite a few little bits about game translation and all that kind of stuff. So definitely check it out yourself if that's something you're interested in. But for the more juicy stuff, we are getting quite a few good things here. So we've got increased healing speed of fires, and now you don't need a map, which is beautiful. You can just press M and you will be able to view the map without actually going out and finding one, which is good. So with that ties in with that, they have removed map harvesting from message boards and bus stops, and map location key has been updated with new icons and locations. Fireworks can now be activated by shooting them. Fireworks can now be activated by a wooden club on fire, and fireworks can now be activated by a wooden club on fire. So fire barrels, campfires, hearth, stove. Faster vehicle repairing and respawning near death now improved and more accurate. You will spawn the player a lot closer than previously, with over 500 new spawn locations added. I like that. That's good. That's what we want to see. Damage from sliding reduced, and fixed a small chance of players spawning underwater on new life. Fix for multiple fires, healing the player faster. Beautiful. Obviously, if some of you have been following my channel for a while, you'll see that we've used a lot of fires against the Horde, which really helps, because as you're reloading your weapons, you've got those few extra seconds. You want to stand next to a fire. That's going to heal you a little bit better now than what it did beforehand. Beforehand, I think it was you were getting 2 or 3, but now you seem to get a lot more, which is brilliant. It's going to help a lot in the Horde night, and it'll make things a little bit easier when you're on the run and you haven't got that full base build yet, and you can't, defend yourself properly. Just running around by a fire is going to give you that little bit more healing and hopefully speed the process up of the Horde, which is really what you need. Obviously, if you're stopping every few seconds to reload, you are eating into that valuable time that you've got to defeat the Horde, especially if you are on the higher waves and on a harder difficulty. They seem to come in hard and fast, and before you know it, it's sunrise and you've still got half a Horde to defeat, which can be quite difficult. And then you've wasted all your ammo and it gets to that point and you haven't actually finished them. Now, being able to heal with fires, it will make that a little bit quicker, because you're not going to have to stop and heal yourself every so often. So those few seconds are going to count. Now, pickups have changed as well. Clubs will no longer spawn in the world, and we've also been adding crafting recipes for jerry cans. Brilliant. Absolutely amazing. Once again, on the harder difficulties, that is going to help a lot. For the UI, they have fixed a critical stat not showing when joining game, and remove phantom map pins off the coast of Black Rock. For AI, outside areas now stay clear of zombies for a while after clearing it. Zombie chase distance is slightly reduced, and zombies now have a higher chance of dropping loot. And players can also sneak up behind zombies during the day. That's cool. Adds to the stealth. Brilliant. They've also removed the need for a map guide. Bandages are now crafted as part of the guide. Trash harvest piles now give metal and wood to fix confusion in the guide. Filters are now hidden for health during the guide to save confusion, and remove delay before next waypoint is enabled in guide. Audio, they have fixed the menu music playing in game, and generators are now quieter. Brilliant. Brilliant. We like that. So, thank you for your continued support and continued issue and suggestion reporting. Below are some helpful links to anyone new and interested in the game. If you'd like to follow a little bit closer, please consider joining our Discord. We're here and we're listening. So all the links that you will need are in the description below. With that being said, let's check out a little bit more of this update, shall we? So, although this update is a relatively small one, I think it's brilliant. Just being able to shoot fireworks is absolutely amazing. I love it. The last couple of updates have been really good, and I really, really, really like this. This is going to help new players and old players, for that matter. I didn't know there was a gun store there. I didn't know there was a gun store there. I mean, some of these are probably new because of the new strip malls that they've added recently. But there's a lot of cool stuff. I like how it shows you now where the car lots are as well. Especially if, you know, it spawns you in and you end up somewhere bloody miles at the top end or miles down the bottom end. I mean, up here is a terrible place to spawn. Anywhere along this top section is a nightmare, because you've got to go through all the mountains to get to where you need to go. But if you spawn, like, sort of down this corner here or this corner here, it's relatively easy. There's stuff nearby. But now we've got a map from the get-go. You don't need to find one. That's going to make things so much better. It's like a million times better already. I absolutely love it. I think it's brilliant. And it's a step in the right direction as well. It's going to help new players. I love as well that how the zombies are now formed in the streets like this. Just randomly stood there, just waiting around. I love that. I think that's really cool. It adds to the overall threat and makes the days feel a lot scarier. Beforehand, the majority of them were indoors. So now coming out to loot and go for a little bit of a hunt is a lot harder. Which, that's what we wanted. That's brilliant. It makes the day a bit more of a threat. But it is nice that once you've cleared an area, it will stay clear for a little while. I mean, I've just done a couple of log-ons and log-offs. And logging off and then back on does reset them. So if you are stood in the middle of somewhere like this, you log off, log back on, they will come back. I like that the dead bodies are just piled up as well. I think that's really cool. And the chase now is brilliant. So at night, it's going to make things a little bit easier. When you're running away from zombies, you're not going to be running for bloody miles before they stop chasing you. It's only reduced a slight amount, but it's better than what it was before. Beforehand, you could run bloody halfway across the map, and they are still on your tail. Now, as long as you've got a good bit of stamina on you, you can run for a little bit and get away from the majority of them. Which is good, because I find one of the hardest things about the game. When you've just started out, you haven't got much to you, and you're trying to head from point A to point B at night. Obviously, it's a bad idea anyway, because it's going to go horribly wrong, but it does make things a little bit easier to actually do that, which I like. You can run around at night now, with a little bit less, you know, fear. Or even if you're like me and you build a horde base away from your main base, it does make things so much better. Because you can actually do what you want with the horde and then head back to your main base. So I think that's brilliant. It really is quite cool. I can't get over the shooting fireworks. I think that's really cool. Next step, devs, by the way, is setting fireworks off of a propane trap. Because that would be epic. Set off multiple fireworks at one time. Oh, he's proper bobbing me. There we go. And I've tried it with a propane trap. I actually haven't tried it with a standard propane. Oh. I love this as well. Standing by the fire now gets you between 5 and 7 health. Which is epic. Beforehand it was 2 or 3. So it's effectively doubled. Which is, as I said earlier on, is really going to help through those horde nights. Like, a lot. Which I like that. That's going to make things so much better. Right, let's try a propane tank standard with some fireworks. See if that works. I've done it with a normal one. Not a normal one, an actual trap one. And it didn't work. So we'll try it with this one. Let's go for a couple of shots quick, see what happens. Might work, might not. Probably won't. Oh no, I hit the firework. Oops. There we go. Right, that's probably going to injure me, actually. I'm a bit too close, I think. No, it didn't work. Damn, that's a shame. I think it'd be cool if it did. Still, shooting them is really fun. You got good aim, though, if you're quite far out. Look at that go. That's wicked. I'm going to be able to create some pretty cool firework displays with this, I think. I'm going to have a load of fun with it. But overall, the update is brilliant. And I think next step now, they've done so many quality of life updates over these past few months, and I feel like the game is right where it needs to be. A new player joining now will have a much better impression of the game than what they would have a few months ago. I'm not saying it was bad. It was great, and it always has been. But now, this is a massive improvement on what it was beforehand. So I think people are going to love this. Oh, I'm only getting 2 now. What's that? Oh, no, it's coming in a hell of a lot quicker. All right, that's not bad. It might be a lower rate. So I think it might slow down. I didn't notice that beforehand. Yeah, so the longer you stood here, it slows down. You get less points, but it's still better than what it was. All right, let's move away quick. Wait for our health bar to disappear. Then we'll go back and see if it comes back up. But the game now is in a much better state than what it was. No, it doesn't. Okay, that's fine. Much better state. Everything's smoother. The zombies look better. Everything sounds better, looks better, and just feels a million times better. But for me personally, I don't know about any of the other players that still play the game, like the vets. I know there's quite a few that I speak to that have been playing way before me, and that's great. It's keeping people here. What we need now, though, I feel like, is something that's really going to engage those older players, as well as the newer players, but I think not so much the newer players. I think what it needs is something to keep the old school and the vets in this. So more really hard POIs. The prison is hard, but I can run that without a sweat. And I know a few other people can as well. Newer players are obviously going to struggle at it, but when you've been playing it for a while, you know what to do and where to go. Once you've done the prison a couple of times, it is quite easy. I can do it now in about 25 minutes on hardcore, as long as I've got an ARG, bang, done. With a pistol, it's a lot harder, but it is doable. I think we need now a massive... I'd love an underground system, like a massive military bunker or something like that. Or, I know it's a bit out there and it's a little bit different, but missions. Like proper missions that we can do. Like having a trader system or something like that, I think would be really cool. And alongside that is something that I have wanted since day one, and that is a scrapping system. We need to be able to scrap things. I hate accidentally building the wrong stuff, or building stuff that I don't want, like building too many of them just because I've pressed craft all by accident, and then I have to go and find those resources again because I've used all the resources that I had. I think an overall dismantle system would really make the game a little bit better overall, just as a fun way to, you know, you can pick stuff up that you don't need, and it makes all the when you're a bit later on, it makes all the useless stuff that you pick up much more useful. So I think that would be great. I have recommended to the devs before a sort of Rust-like system where you can't scrap things just off the bat. You actually have to go to a recycling system, and then that obviously creates a lot of noise, which would bring some zombies in. So there is a bit of risk towards just scrapping stuff. So that way people aren't picking up everything and anything. And then it makes you think, do I really want to risk scrapping this? Is it going to be worthy of it, or is it going to cause me a bit of a headache? That's I think that could be something that's cool. We'll see what happens. But for today, ladies and gentlemen, I've been Wired, you've been awesome. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you in the next one.